recording.
May 5th, 2020.
About that. But it'll be interesting when we get to talking about free cash next year with the surplus in the water department. As I anticipate, we'll end up the year with that surplus. On the expenditure side, taking a look at Prudential, the finance salaries, that's the assistant treasurer and myself, are ahead of budget, but that is due to the work that was done on grants, primarily the assistant treasurer, and year-end, primarily myself. That will level out to some extent as we go through the year. The fire department was lower in salaries, and that was primarily due to lower overtime to cover injuries. So we've been fortunate in having less injuries this year than we had last year. And in the water department, we just have overall lower expenses. Salaries are on budget, but expenses are below. The water department encumbered a substantial amount of money at the end of last year. So that probably took care of some of the beginning spending at the start of this year. Freedom Hall is well behind budget. We've basically had no janitorial support there because of COVID, and I see it's on the agenda, so we'll be talking about that later. But we're well down on expenses and no salary to date. Streetlights basically on budget. The library, we have sent the budgeted money to the library. And debt service, that gets a little interesting, if you will. It looks like I substantially overspent the budget amount, which I did. But it goes to the refinancing, and the refinancing authorized not only paying off part of our long-term debt, but paying off of all of our short-term debt. So that's reflected in those numbers. I have a feeling that that will not result in a, if you will, a deficit in our budget because the refinancing was completely or overly self-funding. Interestingly enough, the auditors tell me that in municipal GAAP reporting, not municipal accounting like we follow here, but in the audit statements, they have to restate June 30th, 2020 for the refinancing. Going to be interesting. I'm going to want to follow that because basically our long-term debt dropped by $460,000. You back out the one-time expenses of doing the refinancing of about $50,000, and you have $400,000 that has to go somewhere. And my guess it goes to fund balance, which will again make for interesting discussions with the state about free cash next year. Benefits are they're basically on budget. They don't appear that way because we have a high payment in July for our annual salary retirement payment. Transfers have all been completed except the water department, and I just have to go through the calculation on that too. They were slightly behind last year in the collection on meter fees, so I have to adjust for that. And also, some of the money was allocated, but not all spent for the vehicle. That was done also at that special district meeting that we were just chatting about. So overall, while it looks like we're over our target on expenditures, we're really well within budget on an adjusted basis for timing. Turning to the expenditures and appropriations. The appropriations in the special revenue fund are really just the COVID expenses, which has a minor amount left over, and the water department vehicle, which was underspent by $7,000. And I would, anticipate that we will ask the annual district meeting if those funds can't be returned to the water department stabilization. In the general fund, capital fund, excuse me, in the capital fund, there are two funds that are overspent. The rehab of engine 263 and the roof replacement. We thought we had covered those with allocating closed projects, but then the auditors instructed me that the Prudential Committee cannot allocate those funds. The district does, so we'll have to wait for the annual district meeting, and we have adequate closed projects so that we can cover those without any additional funding. As I noted, the auditors and myself are working through the exact allocation. There are some questions that actually go back to the closure of the water tank project, which may indicate that we have some money that would be available for the school project if we were to rehabilitate that building, but I'm not sure that they would be available if we demolish the building, because the rule is that the funds have to be allocated to a project with a similar life. The tank had a life of 30 years. It would have to be something of similar to allocate that 132 or higher number. So that is something that I'm in discussion with the auditors. I'm sure we'll have that resolved hopefully by the next meeting. Are there any questions about any of that? Yes, Paul.
Ray, just on the, I remember in November, you talked about current year tax collection was down 14%. In the December meeting, you said you were concerned about tax payments if COVID continued. I thought I heard you say at the start of your report, tax collection was higher now.
Yes.
Has that balanced itself out, sorted itself out now?
It has sorted itself out in 1 month. If you were to look at the last page where I itemized the revenue component, it's actually up 2% from last year and stands at about 54% of budget for the larger the real estate. So it caught up in 1 month. So what I was seeing in November was not a trend, it was an aberration.
Okay, good, thank you.
Ray, I have a question. Did you say the liens, the number of liens were up?
Yes,
Okay.
lien collections were up.
Oh, lien collections. Okay, all right. And I just wanted to say, I listened to Mark Mills give a talk to the town council last week, and he reported to them that the Cape Cod Municipal Health Group doesn't expect to go up by more than 1 or 2%.
I have not heard that, but I will take his word. Deb is on the executive committee, so she probably has a word before the rest of the board gets it. So,
and the county retirement isn't going to go up that much either, maybe 1%. I'm pretty sure he said 1%.
okay, all right.
So
We have that figure already.
oh, okay. And is that what it is, 1%?
I would have to look and calculate that. I'll let you know after the meeting.
Okay, all right. There isn't much to report about Freedom Hall. The sobriety meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday are going fine. They're not having any difficulties. We've had a request to use the hall on a Saturday for some pictures for a hockey team. And they'll be observing the COVID, only 10 people in the building at a time. So that should be fine. And I'm going to skip down to matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair. I got, the chief has been talking to Siemens about repairing the light on Old Post Road, or replacing the light on Old Post Road. And there was a damaged light from I can't remember where, Pine Ridge, I think, that we have, but it was too damaged to be repaired. It wasn't worth the cost. So they can replace that light, parts and labor for $376.94. The only caveat is that the friendly folks at Eversource say they have no record of a light being on that pole. Of course, we have two people who said that they saw the light burn up and somebody came and took it down because it was sprouting flames. I've seen that light all of my life, so I'm not very, the Eversource also tells us that we have 8 or 9 sodium lights still working in Katuitt, and we don't. We only have one that's not ours, and that's on Putnam Avenue. So, if we get permission from Eversource, I'd like to replace that light. So is any comments on that?
Are they taking it up, Fran, to go back and try to sort it out within their own records? Is that what they've agreed to do?
Who, Eversource?
Yeah.
No. It's they're,
So we just ask them to add it then to
yeah,
the
we just have to, well, we have to, Siemens, our company that maintains the lights, will do the work. We just have to get permission to have the light put up. And they'll just consider it a new light, even though we know that
old one. Yeah.
it's a replacement. So, and we haven't, we've only had to replace one other light in the past 4 or 5 years, and that was on Pine Ridge where that one was damaged. So.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So could I have a motion to authorize the replacement of the light on pole 5 on Old Post Road?
I'll move that. I move that we replace the light on pole 5 on Old Post Road.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Seth?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Fran, aye. Thank you. And I don't know if you had a chance to read I sent it rather late, the chief's new contract, but it's not set to start until the 1st of July. So, you know, we can do that at our next meeting, you know, approve it and sign it at our next meeting. And the Policy Advisory Committee is going to be meeting this evening at 7 p.m. and the Bylaw Committee is going to meet tomorrow at 5 p.m. And did you have a chance to review the minutes, Seth?
I did. Were we gonna, I think I got 3 separate sets
Right.
of minutes. I looked through them all. I didn't notice anything that was glaring
Okay.
that I
think
took
there
any
was 4.
umbrage with.
I think there are 4.
There.
October 26th, November 16th,
Was it 4?
November 30th, and December 14th. That's what I got.
Yeah, it was 4, and the only one that needed a correction was the October 24th, where it should have stated that there was a motion to open the tax classification hearing. It's on the 2nd paragraph, I believe. So if I could have a motion to approve the minutes of October 26th, November 16th, November 30th, and December 14th.
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay. All those in favor, Seth?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Fran Parks, aye. Okay. What did everybody? So, I think, unless Ray has any other business, or Charlie?
We're still trying to, I'm sorry, Charlie, go ahead.
No, I don't have anything.
Just a FYI, we're still trying to sort out the computer file retention system. It has some issues and we just haven't resolved those yet. Hopefully I'll be able to report at the next meeting that we have.
Okay. All right, is there any public comment?
I do, Carol Zeiss.
Yes?
Again, would it be possible to get a copy of the finance report that Ray's referring to? Since we're not meeting in Freedom Hall, how can I go ahead and get that so I can better study and understand? I'm still trying to learn.
Yeah, we'll have that posted with the minutes.
So I have to wait till the minutes are approved?
No, we can get that, we're gonna post the minutes within the next 48 hours, so we'll post this at the same time.
Okay, and that's posted to the Fire District website?
Correct.
Thank you so much.
And okay, so our next meeting will be February 22nd. It's the fourth Monday of February. Is that okay, everyone?
Good,
Good with me.
good with me.
So I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second,
All those in favor, Seth,
aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Fran Parks, aye. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You
See you in a
too.
while,
See you all
Paul. See you in a
soon.
while, Seth.
All right, I'll be there.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Thanks.